So let's see what the cards would like to reflect back to us today. And it's funny that I used the word reflect because the first card that I have pulled, here's the moon. And the moon is all about reflected light. So let's have a look. Let's see if we have the final card. Not yet, though I shall talk about the moon. And we also have the Page of Swords. So first of all, what's surfacing? What's coming up for you at a deeply emotional level? Allow it. Allow this time. And it's interesting because we have this sense of an eclipse here, and we had one earlier in the week. A lot of energy here, and you can see lots of these yud, like flames or sunbeams coming through. And those are yud, pure, potent, potential energy. So this energy for change definitely afoot here with this moon card. And so it's asking you, what can you reflect on in your life? What is surfacing? Painful memories, painful patterns, beliefs that just aren't aligning with you anymore. And where can you allow that to surface and sit with that? Sit with the pain, sit with the discomfort until you recognize that this is an emotion that can just move through you. You can allow it to dissolve, disintegrate, disperse. And then we free up energy, free it to use it for something else. And the Page of Swords is suggesting that right now, you might be a little bit back-footed. You might be trying to make some headway. You might be trying to use your mind to get yourself out of a mindset that you previously found unhelpful. Maybe there is some self-talk, self-doubt. Maybe there's self-worth issues. And the Page of Swords is saying that you're trying to talk to yourself differently. You're trying to move through and find nicer things to say and to be more supportive of yourself and to employ more self-love at times. And yet it seems a battle. There's a lot of confusion around here and unsettled thoughts. So maybe you find that with this moon aspecting it, that you are slipping back into old ways. But what I would remind you is the page is new and he has youthful enthusiasm. And the idea is not to worry about the fact that these things can keep surfacing when you think you put them to bed. The page is here to remind us that we can get up daily and fight the good fight. Every day we can decide we're going to put more self-love into us. And this can take time. And we need to be gentle and compassionate with ourselves as we make these changes. And it is a mental fight. It is your mind that will control your outcomes in the end, because otherwise we are operating from these subliminal, subconscious thoughts, feelings, emotions, patterns. And so the idea with these cards here is to show us how we can bring them to light and use that as energy to do something differently. And our page is definitely determined to open up a new chapter, to try things differently. And he's not afraid to fail. He's not afraid to get it wrong. He recognizes he's not quite there yet, but he has so much conviction. So where can this be you at this time? If you feel like you're trying to make changes and you don't feel like you're making the headway, know to keep persisting. And your ego might tell you otherwise. Your ego may say to you that it's not working. There's no point in doing this. It doesn't feel right. I don't want to do this anymore. But the page has got the fight in him still. And he's going to keep showing up and he's going to keep cutting through that noise. And look where we end up. You keep doing that. You work with the pain, you sit with it, and you bring better self-talk to yourself. You start using your mind to control your actions, to control your words, to control how you communicate with the outside world. You recognize that your words convey power. They create a reality. So you catch yourself wherever you can and you don't beat yourself up whenever you don't remember or you get lost in your train of thought and you find yourself spiraling. The page is here just to remind you that when you recognize it, get up and carry on. Try again until gently, gently we layer it. An outcome here, a 10 of cups, feels good. It feels really good. This is a happy ever after card. This is having so much fulfillment in your life that you can bring it to your loved ones around you. There is pure joy and excitement here. There's a whole sense of deep connection. And to have this level of connection with others, you must first have it within yourself. And that's the work, it seems, that you're prepared to be doing, and you've already made a start. So well done. And hold on to this vision, this goal, this outcome, which feels incredible. It's worth putting this time in. It's worth reflecting, doing the inner work, meeting your shadows, integrating them, and bringing more self-awareness, more self-love, better self-talk for that happy ever after outcome. If you're enjoying the cards, I do ask that you like and subscribe to the channel. It really does make a difference. Thank you. A great big shout out to those of you who already have done so. I really appreciate you. And now, if you're willing and able, I invite you to a short meditation. So if you can, close your eyes. Take some deep breaths. Center yourself. And just cast your awareness on anything in your body that doesn't feel quite right, particularly on an emotional level. Ask yourself if things are surfacing right now, and if they are, what are they? Can you name them? Can you remember them? It's important to recognize these feelings when they come up and not shut them down or lock them away. Give them the voice. In the moon card, we have a wolf and a dog howling at the moon. Give them the voice, those wilder aspects of you. Allow them to come through and allow them to move through. Give them the energy. And then recognize if this is just a pattern that keeps repeating, or if it's something you can and are ready now to let go of. Sit with it, face it, write it down if you need to release it. There's a lot of energy for change in our moon card. It seems that you're ready for this. You're ready to take the time for some deep reflection. Create some space for this. And yes, the waters in the back of the moon card are choppy. It could be a bit of a rough ride. It's an important one. To get to know your shadow self, to get to know those aspects of you that hold you back, so that you can allow them, recognize them, see them from what they are, and integrate them. Accept them as part of you, but don't let them run your life. And maybe you're in the middle of making some mindset changes, or the Page of Swords is inviting you to start using different language when you speak to yourself. And I use this idea of Aladdin at the wall of the cave, trying to open it and needing the password, and he had to say, "Open sesame." What if he was saying, "Open sesame, open sesame"? I said open, so open. The power of your word to command and create and manifest your world. You have the power and the authority to shape your world. Be careful how you use your words. And our Page of Swords is starting that process of catching himself every time he speaks negatively about himself, or he criticizes himself or others. The Page of Swords is there to capture those times, recognize them, and turn them around. Start giving yourself an easier time, a time with more loving appreciation, a time of self-forgiveness, a time to recognize your worth. Start being your own best cheerleader. Use positivity to reframe your life. And imagine, for a moment, your happy ever after. Go there in your mind's eye. Take a deep breath and release and feel the relief. If whatever has been weighing you down is no longer part of your life, anything that you found hard is history. You have moved beyond pain. You have moved beyond obstacles. You've moved beyond getting in your own way. Everything has worked out for you. What is your happy ever after? Allow your mind to wander there. Allow your heart to revive itself there. Breathe it in, feel it, and breathe it out. Be in that space. Allow your mind to recreate your external reality with a promise of happier, joyous, more connected, more deeply loving times where life is easier, is much more deeply connected to others, and feels fulfilled with joy and so much in your cup to replenish and renew you that you have enough to share. Could a smile on your face feel into that, and in your own time, come back to the room and open your eyes. The Moon card representing a phase in your life of spending time listening to your inner fears, your inner concerns, listening, giving space, giving voice, and allowing that to surface. Page of Swords, creating the space, holding the space for you to try to talk to yourself and communicate with yourself and with the world at large in a more positive, uplifting, supportive, loving manner. And dare to dream, a dream so big that it feels fulfilling, that it fills you up from the inside to the point where it's brimming over and you recognize that this is what you're carrying to the outside world and everybody can feel it when they come into contact with you. Feel the uplift. Have a wonderful day.